Okay, so this is the audio for episode 8 for group 3 in the AM, and their topic is Western water. And we have an opening, which is going to come first, which apparently is not here yet. So we're going to jump ahead right away to part 1, which is going to be about the Three Gorges Dam in China, and Grace will be doing this. From the waters in the Yangtze River in China rises the biggest concrete structure on the planet, the Three Gorges Dam. It's about 2 kilometers long and 60 stories tall. It has taken 40,000 workers over 17 years to build. This one dam will produce over 20,000 megawatts of power, twice as much as all the nuclear power stations in Britain put together. The Chinese government regards the project as an historic engineering, social, and economic success. However, the dam has been a controversial topic since its blueprint came into shape. On the other hand, it can produce a massive amount of energy that is sustainable, renewable, and eco-friendly. What's more, it increases the Yangtze River shipping capacity and reduces the potential for floods downstream by providing flood storage space. But, on the other hand, the dam flooded archaeological and cultural sites and displaced some 1.3 million people, and is causing significant ecological changes, including an increased risk of landslides. It also threatens the lives of countless species of animals, including Yangtze dolphins. If you want to know more about the Three Gorges Dam and how the local people's lives have changed, I'd like to recommend a very good film, Still Life. The film was shot in the old village of Fengjie, a small town on the Yangtze River, which now has been destroyed by the building of the Three Gorges Dam. The film premiered at the 2006 Venice Film Festival and was a winner of the Golden Lion Award for Best Film, and it's literally the best film that I've ever watched. Moving on now, and we need to have a little bit of introduction here, so it would be nice if you said something like, and now Parvina will continue with part 2 about the water resources of Tajikistan. And then later Parvina comes out. And then Parvina should start with something like, "Thank you, Grace." And then you continue. "Hello, everybody. I'm Parvina." And you start your part. Tajikistan is rich in water resources. I'm not sure how to pronounce these, but I'm going to try. The Amu Darya and the Sur Darya basins consist of about 1,000 rivers, which are part of the largest system. The largest what? River system? Water system? Maybe river system? I'm not sure what you want to say here, but you need something. Maybe river system in Central Asia. There are more than 2,000 lakes here, containing 44, what is this? Not square, cubic, okay? Containing 44 cubic kilometers of water, including 20 cubic kilometers of cubic meters? I'm not sure that this is European stuff, so I don't know if this is cubic meter or cubic kilometer, square meters, square, kilometers? Yeah. Okay, I'm just not familiar with this system, sorry. So 44 cubic meters of water, including 20,000 cubic meters of fresh water. Significant resources of water, 460 cubic kilometers, are concentrated in glaciers, more than 11,000. The total water yield of rivers passing through Tajikistan is 65, and back again with this, 65 cubic kilometers. About 52 cubic kilometers, or kilometers, of this comes from within the country, but Tajiks use only about 11 cubic kilometers, the rest being allotted to neighboring countries, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and Turkmenistan. Tajikistan is the second highest ranked among post-Soviet countries. It's no longer Soviet Union, right? My understanding is we now say post-Soviet countries. So Tajikistan is the second highest ranked among post-Soviet countries after the Russian Federation for water reserves, and the highest among the Central Asian states. Talking about the economy, what can Tajikistan bring to the international market? The government has decided that the answer is simple: hydroelectric power, generated by the country's alpine lakes and rivers. The Tajik government dreams of a day not far off when its hydroelectric facilities will allow the nation to export electricity to neighboring energy-poor Afghanistan and Pakistan. The 3,600 megawatt Rogan hydroelectric power station Okay, this is a little odd phrasing here. Once again, the 3,600 megawatt Rogan hydroelectric, the 3,600 megawatt Rogan hydroelectric power station, if built, would be Central Asia's largest and would allow Tajikistan to export electricity to both Afghanistan and Pakistan. But Western downstream neighbor Uzbekistan has harshly criticized the Rogan project, fearing that it could disrupt water flows needed during the spring and summer for Uzbekistan's extensive agricultural base. Obi Zulal water, national water drink, laboratories in California, USA, and the laboratory of Parm University tested the qualities, physical, and chemical properties of Obi Zulal and said it was even better than well-known trademarks such as Avion and Levissimo. Obi Zulal water has been granted the gold medal among 4,000 producers of water on the, should not be on, but maybe at the annual International Water Tasting USA Berkeley Springs. Part 3. The mighty Dnieper, I think it was Dnieper. The mighty Dnieper roars and bellows. The wind in anger howls. Sorry. We want to do a pass off here as well. And so we're going to have Parvina now. We'll pass off to Anastasia, and you want to say something here. Something like, and now we'll have Anastasia continue with part 3. Then Anastasia comes on and she says, "Thank you, Parvina." And you read your poem, The The mighty Dnieper roars and bellows, the wind in anger howls and raves. Down to the ground it bends the willows, and mountain high lifts up the waves. The Dnieper River is the main water resource in Ukraine. It has a big impact on the whole country. The Dnieper is the fourth largest river in Europe. It is 1,367 miles in length. It is almost the same distance, not destination. It is almost the same distance as from New York City to South Beach in Miami. This river flows through Russia, Belarus, and Ukraine to the Black Sea. At the end of the 18th century and the beginning of the 19th, the Dnieper was connected to the Baltic Sea by several canals, but unfortunately they are no longer used. The river is not just a water resource for Ukrainians. It is also a muse for a lot of poets in my country. Unfortunately, now we have a massive amount of problems because of indifference to this beauty of Mother Nature. More than 300 companies throw their industrial waste in the river. It brings this beautiful water resource to an irreversible process. It stimulates the appearance of phosphorus compounds and nitrogen, which can contribute to an uncontrolled algae bloom. There are no more ponds where Ukrainians can swim in the summertime. I am pretty sure that more of us know about the explosion at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in 1986. It was an enormous explosion in the northern part of my country and had a huge impact on the whole world and especially on Ukraine. Just the thought that it happened around 10 miles from one of the Dnieper's ponds makes everyone shocked. Because of the lack of finance in the country, and underdeveloped and insufficient public participation, this river became the huge treasure and the biggest problem nowadays. Okay, now we will have eBay continue with part 4. Thank you, Anastasia. Hello, everybody. My name is eBay. Swimming in the Rhine. A few decades ago, the River Rhine was once an environmental black spot. Colored dye, that's the British spelling, colored dye and chemicals flowed down the river. Fish and plant life disappeared, and it was considered unhealthy to swim in the Rhine. The city Basel in Switzerland is famous for its chemical and pharmaceutical industries. While these businesses brought economic success to Basel, they also discharged dangerous waste into the river. Basel had no water purification plant until the 1960s, so even waste from private houses flowed directly into the river. Nowadays, the river is much cleaner. So how has this improvement been achieved? Warning bells were first sounded in the 19th century when local fishermen found that some breeds of fish were dying out. By the end of the Second World War, the salmon had disappeared altogether, and many communities living around the Rhine became convinced that something had to be done to rescue the river. The International Commission for the Protection of the Rhine was born in Basel. In 1963, the countries through which the Rhine flows signed a convention to protect the river. This set ambitious goals for reducing pollution, and efforts were made to get the factories on the river banks to cut their waste emissions. In addition to strict regulations, private houses in Basel are now connected to a water purification system, so domestic waste no longer flows directly into the river. Nowadays, the river is so clean that you can swim in it safely and fish are coming back. Now Anastasia will give us our conclusion. Thank you, eBay. And thank you guys, everybody, for your attention. Hopefully you heard and learned a lot of new and useful information from our group presentation. As you remember, the Western water in the video we have been studying in class was basically about California. But this subject, water, is very important and real for all of us nowadays as well. We understand that Mother Nature gave us everything from the beginning, and we never thought that those resources might not be endless. Every year our planet loses some ponds. The rapid loss of fish species grows every year, and the climate in different countries has already changed dramatically. To honor this irreplaceable resource of our planet, we decided to make a quiz about water in the world. The questions are not going to be very difficult, based in a school program, and the winner is going to get a prize which consists of around 80% water. Are you ready? Okay. For non-Chinese students, the Three Gorges Dam is built across which river in China? How many rivers run through Tajikistan? What's the famous water brand from Tajikistan? Do you know the 4 oceans on this planet? What's the longest river in the world?